When I grab your hand, run like hell." Vincent's words were barely audible. Trinity nodded just slightly, so he knew that she heard him. They were outnumbered 4-2, and they were surrounded. "Trying to convince her that you're worthy of her trust?" the big man from the Black Moon pack taunted Vincent. "It's too late for that. Your pack will go down soon enough. It's a shame. If your alpha wasn't so unreasonable, we could have avoided all this bloodshed." One of the guards behind them moved closer. Bloodshed? Trinity did not like the sound of that. Trinity ran through all the options in her head. She understood why Vincent wanted to make a run for it, but all the guards had to do was shift and they would catch them in no time. And they'll learn I don't have a wolf. Trinity shivered. She didn't want to know what they would do if they learned she couldn't shift. If they couldn't run, they could try to fight where they were. Trinity searched her surroundings for a weapon, but the maid had already cleared all the dishes and silverware. And again, she worried the men would shift. They would rip me to pieces. Their only option was to wait for Reese to come back. These men wouldn't dare hurt Luna in front of her alpha. She needed to buy more time. "You don't know who you're messing with!" Trinity was talking about Reese, but the men took it the wrong way. "What makes you so special?" The guard behind them inched closer. "You're a pathetically weak female." The big guard by the door cackled. "All you're good for is a roll in the sack and popping out pups." Trinity's blood was boiling. "If that's all you think Luna is good for, why isn't your pack more powerful?" Trinity rose to her feet. "Maybe if you treated women with more respect, you'd learn to shut your mouths and think with that thing between your ears for half a minute. All I've seen since I arrived at this pack is a bunch of little boys complaining about how nobody wants to give them any land. That land is owed to us," the big guard roared. "According to who?" Trinity almost laughed at him. Men and their entitlement. "Last I checked, that land belonged to my pack, and when Reese hears about this, he's going to make sure that your pack doesn't see another acre of land for generations. How about you get out of your way and stop making problems for your alpha? He's not going to be happy when he hears about the mess you've made." All of the guards and Vincent stared at Trinity in disbelief. "Who do you think you are?" the big guard growled. "I'm a Luna. Or did you forget? Omegas like you know to treat me with respect." "How did you know I'm an Omega?" Truthfully, Trinity couldn't explain how she knew that he was an Omega, the lowest rank of wolf possible. She realized she could look around the room and sense their individual ranks and strengths. While their combined power would overwhelm her, she was confident she could take any one of them on their own. Is this an added benefit of being a Luna? "You reek of weakness, and your low status is plain to see. Try having a little more tact next time, and maybe your inadequacy won't be so obvious," she added. Another guard behind her chuckled. Trinity whipped around. "Is something funny, pup?" She quickly scanned him. "I'd put a sock in it if I were you. Unless you want everyone to know you aren't just an Omega, but you're also only half wolf." The man flushed a bright red. "Who's next?" Trinity was enjoying her power so much she almost forgot that her goal was to buy time. "Luna, are you sure this is wise?" Vincent's words were almost soundless. He was terrified. "Don't worry, Vincent. I know what I'm doing." It was the most sure Trinity had felt of herself in a long time. "And you!" Trinity turned on the third guard. "Does your friend over here know that you're having an affair with his mate?" Trinity gestured to the big guard. "It was only one time, I swear." "How did you know that?" Vincent looked at Trinity in awe. "That was actually just a lucky guess." Trinity shifted her focus back to the big guard. "Who can blame her? With the way you talk about women, I can't imagine you would make a satisfying mate." "You little—"
I wouldn't finish that sentence if I were you.
Trinity heard a familiar, deep, smooth voice growl from near the door.
"Vincent, the meeting is over. We're leaving." Reese stalked into the room and grabbed Trinity's hand. "What happened here?" Reese looked around at the guards who were each shaking with rage.
"We can discuss it in the car, Alpha." Vincent ushered them toward the door.
"Very well."
As they walked out of the room, Trinity glared over her shoulder one last time, pushing all of her thoughts of rage, all of her negative emotions, toward the guards who had infuriated and threatened her. The man nearest to her fell over, and Trinity barely stifled a laugh. She managed to hold herself back until they left the house and approached their SUV. Then she burst into laughter.
What is it that you find so damn amusing right now? Reese snarled as he opened her door and shoved her inside before sliding into the driver's seat.
One of those idiots closer to me was so unnerved by us leaving that he fell over right before we rounded the corner. Trinity wiped away tears of laughter as both men froze. What? Trinity looked around at Reese and Vincent. Luna, tell us what happened. Vincent was speaking to Trinity slowly, as if she needed to be treated delicately. I'm serious. The last thing I saw was that guard, the big Omega who didn't know how to shut his mouth, fall to the ground. He wasn't even moving. Reese and Vincent looked at each other, worry and confusion on Vincent's face, a knowing expression on Reese's. It was funny. At least I held in my laughter until we got outside. Give me a little bit of credit for that. Plus, that guy deserved much worse. Trinity could see that they both knew something that she didn't. I'm so tired of being kept in the dark. Can we go? Trinity crossed her arms. I just want to get out of here. Reese started the car and put it into gear. Trinity felt a wave of relief as the Alpha house disappeared behind them. The meeting ended much sooner than I expected, Vincent probed. And not a minute too soon. Trinity shuddered to think what would have happened if Reese hadn't shown up. She had been running out of stalling tactics. She would have to find a more effective way to defend herself next time. Sir? Did something happen?
Yeah. We heard the commotion. Reese drove faster. That, and I was done listening to his stupid, baseless demands. What was with this pack? What happened in there? Why was everyone so angry with you, little bunny? He questioned.
Remember when you asked me to hide my bad attitude in front of the other people? Trinity asked playfully. I disobeyed you, but I promise I had a good reason. I thought they were going to attack Luna. Vincent looked at her, his eyes pleading. Please be more careful next time. It was strategic, Vincent. You know we couldn't run. We didn't stand a chance if we had to fight. We needed time. You never cease to impress me, Luna. Vincent leaned back in his seat, finally understanding her plan. I'm just relieved that it worked. If Reese hadn't shown up.
But I did show up. Reese cut her off. You did well, Trinity.
Trinity looked down to hide the blush flooding her face.
And anyway, you rescued me too. I was tired of looking at Stanley's pathetic face.
All three of them burst into laughter, even Vincent. It was a welcome release after the tension-filled encounter. Trinity was feeling better than she had in a long time after releasing her frustrations on those moronic guards. Will we be able to maintain peace between our packs? Vincent reminded them of how serious the situation was.
Probably not. Reese sounded somber. We will likely be forced to fight to keep our land safe and our boundaries intact.
Are they strong enough to take us on? If those guards were any indication of what the Black Moon Pack's warriors were like, Trinity wasn't too concerned.
If it were just our pack against theirs, they might stand a chance. Maybe. Reese drifted into thought for a moment. But we have the additional support of the fealty packs that will lend us aid.
But you don't expect them to play fair, do you? Based on Trinity's first impression of these werewolves, they did not appear to be the honorable type. They were up to something. That was for sure.
Not in the least.
They arrived at the hotel about an hour away from Stanley's Alpha house.
This is still technically Stanley's territory, but we should be safe. Reese put the car in park. We're on the fringe and in the border city now. It's unlikely they try anything.
Trinity and Vincent exchanged a look. After all of the close calls of the last week, they didn't trust it.
Want to know what happens next? Click on the link in the description below to watch further episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha.